Welcome back to the Lumiose Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to talk about these weird pink bands that appear on the new Pokemon that got revealed for the Scarlet and Violet's Teal Mask DLC. This is Monkey Dory, Pheasantipity, and Okidogi. I'm still learning the names a little bit there. They will kind of slip through my head. If I see them, I know it, but if I'm just having to name them, I might be a little lost, so bear with me. But yeah, these pink bands have been such a mystery, and they're in different places on the Pokemon, and everybody's kind of been going, what is that? Is that some idea of their typing? I've seen people suggest that it could be indicative of a poison typing just because they're purple, which I don't think is true. But I've even seen some people suggest that it could be indicative of a fighting typing because they're kind of, it's like especially on Monkey Dory, it's like a headband, like, you associate that with athletes, so I could see that one a little bit more, but I honestly think they'll be important to the story, and I think that there is some lore behind them. Perhaps this is even an item, or there's an item to release the Pokemon from these, and they'll have an alternate form when they're not in them. And I say that because I think that these things are actually confining the Pokemon, or maybe even hurting them, honestly. I don't know if they're hurting them, but I definitely think that they are restricting the Pokemon's abilities and that they're holding back the Pokemon. Now, the reason I think this is kind of jumbled, so I'm going to do as best as I can to make this clean and neat and organized. But first off, we've got to look at a sign that appears in the Teal Mask trailer. You see this sign has the character, not the player character, but like this hero trainer running with the three Pokemon chasing away Ogerpon, seemingly an unmasked Ogerpon. Now, I pointed this out in another video, and you should check that out for like the full theory on this part, but basically I noticed that Ogerpon's not fighting the trainer. It in fact is depicted as running away from it, which to me strikes me as like, oh, it's scared. So basically my whole theory there, again, you should totally check it out, but is that Ogerpon may be misunderstood and actually might be, a good Pokemon and was just either hideous and misunderstood because it was hideous and thus chased out, or maybe even it wasn't it wasn't an issue at all. They just claimed it was evil because there were some bad people who had some kind of bad motive, specifically this hero character. Now, we also have to look at this hero character. What is he? Well, it's supposed to be based off of the story of Momotaro, which is an old Japanese folktale where basically this boy fought demons, and along the way he encountered a talking pheasant, dog, and monkey, and they joined him on his quest. That's a super condensed version of it, but basically it's very clearly playing some role in inspiring Teal Mask, because you even have Pheasantipity, Okidogi, and Monkey Dory are clearly supposed to be the dog, pheasant, and monkey of the story. But I do think that it won't be one-to-one. I think that they might take the story and do a little twist on it. Kind of similar to, there's a bunch of shows and movies that do that. I think about Princess and the Frog. That takes a classic fairy tale, Princess and the Frog, where a princess sees that a prince has been turned into a frog, and she kisses the frog, and the frog turns into a prince, and they get married and fall in love. But Princess and the Frog kind of did a spin on that, where what happened was she got turned into a frog by the kiss, and they have to go on a quest. That, or even another good example, if anybody watches this, I don't know how popular it is. I know my wife and I watch it, but the show Ruby, they often will have fairy tales play a role in the story, and all their characters are influenced by a fairy tale character, but it's very much a spin on them. I mean, it's by no means a fairy tale show. So all of this to say that might be what they're doing with Momotaro here, and that even though you've got all the themes going on, it won't be a one-to-one Momotaro story, and that this hero character might actually be evil. I mean, he's chasing away the Ogerpon, this demon creature, because it's a demon in the Momotaro story, may not be evil like it was in the Momotaro story, but may be misunderstood, and he's chasing it off. And that's where we get into another detail of the sign. On the sign, if you look at the silhouettes of Pheasantipity, Monkeydory, and Okidogi, you can especially tell by looking at Okidogi, there's no pink band. You know, Okidogi has like a pink like leash on its neck, kind of like that's the little band is formed as a leash. It's not present here. So what I'm proposing may have happened is that these Pokemon were in their true forms, you know, without the bands, and encountered this Momotaro hero character who told them, you know, hey, we're gonna go on a quest to defeat the evil Ogerpon. They're like, oh, there's an evil Ogerpon? Well, you know, we're good moral Pokemon, so yeah, if you say that there's an evil Ogerpon and you need to stop it, we would be happy to help you. And so they go on this quest, they do all this, they capture Ogerpon and like kind of imprison him in a mask, the Teal Mask, and then it becomes clear, like the hero's like, ah, great, now I can do this, and they're like, whoa, hold up, what? And you know, it's basically revealed to them that he was a jerk, and so he has this pink band. Maybe he got it from the treasure he was able to get from Ogerpon, and basically is able to constrict them with this. This would explain why they look so unnatural on the Pokemon, like they look like an addition to the Pokemon, you know what I mean, not like a part of its design, especially on Okidogi and Monkeydory. And it would also explain like why we're going to encounter the Pokemon. You know, they're not with this Momotaro character, they're not, you know, still around, they're you know, off, they're restricted, they've been like separated from the world. Maybe even the Momotaro character came back to the village and was like, oh yeah, you know, we defeated the Ogerpon, but the Pokemon didn't make it, and everybody's like, oh no, let's throw a big festival in honor of them. And he's like, sure, why not, you know, and they think they're dead, but they're actually not. So I think that the plot of the Teal Mask might be finding these Pokemon, him releasing them from their shackles, and basically kind of undoing the events of what this Momotaro character did to Ogerpon in the first place. You know, Pokemon doesn't often like to do the whole a Pokemon is evil thing, so I think this would be a good way to get around it. You know, I really like the idea. I would hate if it was one-to-one Momotaro, because then you can just read the book of Momotaro and find out everything that happens. Instead, I'd love to like see it be a fairy tale with a twist, you know, like some Disney movies are, and like how the Ruby TV show is. But yeah, let me know what you think of this theory in the comments below. Give me your own thoughts on what you think these pink bands are on the Pokemon. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, because if I get more theories on what these things are, I'm going to cover it. And if we find out what they are, you know, we'll be covering that too, and you don't want to miss that. So like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Until next time, I'll see all of you later.